ounce of hand-drawn relatability. For 10 years, 3 lovable suburban kids were permanent fixtures of 31 million different households across 29 different countries. Ed, Edd and Eddy was Cartoon Network's most popular achievement, ending as the network's longest-running show, giving kids over 130 stories, 4 specials, and a feature-length TV movie. Ed, Edd and Eddy stood out amongst the deluge of animation during that 10-year run by creating 3 lovably average and unremarkable characters and letting them live lives that were in so many ways just like ours. Before Cartoon Network, series creator Danny Antonucci would spend decades climbing his way through the ranks of the animation industry. An animator who was obsessed with the style of early animation and adult humor, Antonucci would make a name for himself throughout the industry with the 1987 3-minute short Lupo the Butcher, in which a foul-mouthed Italian butcher violently tears apart meat and eventually his own body. It's grotesque, its humor is coming in profanity-laced tirades, it is a relic of the edgy animation trend of the late 80s and early 90s, that was eventually popularized by things like Ren and Stimpy. But on a dare, Antonucci began the task of developing a children's show to do the one thing with animation he had never done by himself: make something for everybody. So taking his experience working with Hanna-Barbera early in his career, he took 3 characters he had drawn up for a shoe commercial and got to work. Ed, Edd and Eddy would be shopped to Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network before finally premiering on the latter channel on January 4th, 1999, quickly getting a slot in their Cartoon Fridays lineup. It was a show that almost immediately came to dominate the network's ratings. I recently went back and rewatched the series as an adult, and I quickly realized what made the series so special, what made it so easy to fall in love with Ed, Edd and Eddy, was just how average the everyday lives the show gave us were underneath the slapstick. The Eds were very normal kids, all created to be one part of creator Antonucci's personality. Eddy is an eccentric, swindling scammer, Double D is an outsider, a kid too smart for his own good that suffers from severe OCD, and Ed, a slow kid with a very active imagination. Normal kids, normal problems, normal reality. So many pieces of entertainment attempt to connect with the audience by showing them a piece of themselves. Ed, Edd and Eddy succeeded wildly in this one way. So much of the humor, the slapstick was grounded in character, and because you, the kid watching it, were almost certainly someone in the small suburb of Peach Creek where the show took place, that humor landed. You weren't just laughing at yourself, you were laughing at your friend who's just like Kevin, or the girl you like, or a toy you loved, and what happened to them were just exaggerated examples of things you saw every day. Whether it was the Eds trying to sell lemonade, put on a circus show for cash, or hunt for quarters to get themselves a few jawbreakers. They weren't flying to the moon or fighting supervillains, they were playing in a cul-de-sac. A cul-de-sac they never leave, a place you as the viewer get to know just as well as they do, a place just like a neighborhood you may have lived in. And their problems were your problems, and they didn't shy away from the realer ones. Eddy trying to get rid of his first zit, having to hide Eddy's dirty magazines, pretending it's still summer because the first day of school is upon you, attempting to impress your crush, avoiding a bully. Under the craziness, the kids' problems are grounded, and no matter how far Eddy takes things, no matter the damage they...
pronounced Nolans, and Po Boys, Gumbo,
Thanks, Mr. Shield War Games for the 7. Just curious, have you ever...
all 8 tier.
Have you ever... Have I ever tried authentic Cajun food? Grew up in New Orleans, pronounced Nolans. And Po Boys, Gumbo, Jambalaya, coffee. Never tried them, but I really do want to try them one day. Reading is hard. No, he mistyped, man. This is the line. The line is, just curious, you ever have authentic Cajun food?
Because they never become unlikable characters for this very reason. They aren't bothered by adults, they didn't have to worry about getting grounded. It was escapism that allowed you to hop into their neighborhood and avoid the problems of growing up while relating to theirs.
That's how you say it?
That alone is an accomplishment, and the relatability of the show extends beyond simply storytelling and into the actual animation. Antonucci despised the growing trend of digital animation. He believed so heavily in the energy that the hand-drawn cell process splashed across screens that he went against that digital trend and made Ed, Edd and Eddy the literal last major animated series to be developed using traditional cell animation. And he combined that with using boiling lines, which are the moving outlines you see around each character, and with those two things, the team created a look and feel that was uniquely theirs. That hand-drawn style gives the series a childlike energy. It makes the series look like something a kid might draw on their notebook.
It really did. I love this show.
It does nothing but add to the feeling that you're watching something you could be a part of, that matches your childhood energy. Antonucci likes this style because this, he believes it's exploiting human error, something every kid can understand. A neighborhood brought to life with those mistakes and errors. From the plain colored houses designed to look uninteresting, to be seen by the kids of that neighborhood the way real kids see houses, to the wildly different colored tongues of the characters, colored to look the way that kids do after eating candies. Every detail of Ed, Edd n Eddy and its animation is there to make you feel as though you could be an Ed. This stood in juxtaposition to something like Rugrats, in which you're following the adventures of
These
infants
two
on
always
Powerpuff
creep me
Girls'
out.
quest to foil
They
the
remind me of
plans
The
a
Shining.
evil monkey. Ed, Edd n Eddy gave you friends that were just like you, that looked kinda like you. This ability to reach an audience carried until the very end, and unlike other animated series of that era, the show had a definitive ending that wrapped those stories up in a way that gave these friends an arc. The show's true finale, the 90-minute film Big Picture Show, would encapsulate the relatability that made the show so successful. A movie that shows Eddie finally coming to terms with
What
the fact
happened
that
to
his
the
older
girl?
brother is a terrible human being. A movie that ends with Eddie finally apologizing for the damage he's caused, and a movie that ends with the neighborhood embracing the outcasted Eds for the first and last time. It not only redeems the characters, but it gives into the fantasy of every preteen, the desire to be embraced, which is the real motive behind Eddie's actions, the desire to fit in, to have friends. These aren't new
Friends.
or novel motifs,
Thanks, Mrs.
but in
Sulop.
this one made-for-TV film, Ed, Edd n Eddy proves its worth as more than just a slapstick homage to old cartoons. It proves that it recognizes and understands its audience in a way that does more than just make you laugh. The averageness of their desires are not coated in a paint meant to disguise. They're worn on the sleeve of the characters, unlike so many of the shows from that era that hide these themes behind magic wands and diapers. Nearly a decade has passed since that finale. Ed, Edd n Eddy may not have changed
I never watched
the
it. I
animation
should go back
industry.
and watch it.
It may not have become an inarguable classic in the same way as something like Pinky and the Brain, but I think that the Eds gave the kids of that era some of the greatest adventures of their childhood. I think unknowingly so many of us became a part of that cul-de-sac. So many of us made Peach Creek our reality because it was just a more enticing version of what was right outside our own
Viewing
doors.
party. I think
Ed,
I
Edd n
stream
Eddy
it on
didn't
Twitch.
need a gimmick. It didn't need a hook. It lived and died by its characters and their stories. Not in the 12
baby
season
reminds
epic
me of Sniff.
world-trotting tale way of something like an Avatar, in a self-contained I'm just like you kind of way instead. Ed, Edd n Eddy is average, not in its consistently great quality, but in its stories. It's intentionally so, because the show knows something that we too often forget. That maybe sometimes being unremarkable isn't such a bad thing after all.
It's true, guys. I try every day. Potion seller?
Hello, potion seller. I am going into battle, and I want your strongest potions. My potions are too strong for you, traveler. Potion seller, I tell you I'm going into battle, and I want only your strongest potions. You can't handle my potions. They're too strong for you. Potion seller, listen to me. I want only your strongest potions. My potions would kill you, traveler. You cannot handle my potions.
What the fuck am I watching here? Why horseshoe crab blood is so expensive? What
This
is it
bluish
even
liquid
used
is one
for?
of the most expensive resources in the world.
What?
No
Alright, who's out? Who's ready for an adventure? Let's fucking get some. What is it? Horseshoe crabs. Let's go.
expensive resources in the world. No, it's not the blue milk from Star Wars. It's actually blood from a horseshoe crab. And the stuff this blood makes costs $60,000.
What?
So why is it so expensive? And who's buying horseshoe crab blood? The blue color comes from copper in the blood. But that's not its most interesting feature. The blood contains a special clotting agent. It's used to make a concoction called limulus amoebocyte lysate, or LAL.
I remember it.
Before LAL, scientists had no easy
Lol.
way of knowing whether a vaccine or medical tool was contaminated with bacteria, like E. coli or salmonella. Scientists would inject vaccines into huge numbers of rabbits, and then basically wait for symptoms to show up.
Holy shit.
But when LAL was approved for use in 1970, it changed everything. Drop a minuscule amount of it onto a medical device or vaccine, and the LAL will encase any gram-negative bacteria in a jelly cocoon.
What?
While it can't kill the bacteria, the jelly seal is like a fire alarm. alerting us to the presence of what could become a potentially lethal infection and prevent it from spreading. Each year, the medical industry catches
What?
around
Isn't that
600,000
insane?
horseshoe crabs. The crabs are drained of 30% of their blood, and up to 30% of the crabs don't live through the process. The survivors are returned to the water.
Can't they just
but
take
no
like
one really knows
20%?
how well or if they recover. In 2016, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature bumped the American horseshoe crab up to vulnerable on its red list, one step below endangered. And the US population could keep falling by as much as 30% over the next 40 years. LAL Labs claim that the returned crabs eventually recover, but new evidence suggests that's not always the case. Wynn Watson is
Wonder what
trying to
they
figure out
taste
what
like.
happens to the crabs when they're put back in the sea.
So the most immediate negative effect is mortality. Anywhere from 10 to 25% of the animals will die within the first couple of days after you bleed them.
Bled crabs become disoriented and weak for a period of time.
It's like humans. If you
Females may
drain
have trouble
30%
spawning.
blood of a
They
human,
survive the first
do they
two
even
weeks,
survive? Like
two
what?
weeks, and they're back in their natural habitat. They did pretty well.
But it's getting through those 2 weeks that's the issue.
Based on our data and others, I think that you need to treat them a little. If you're going to get increase your survival rate, right? You need to treat them better.
Oh.
Scientists are trying
Can you
to find
imagine,
a
like, you're a
synthetic
crab?
alternative
You walk
to
into
help
this facility and you're
reduce
like, what
strain
the-
on the
what the
horseshoe
fuck,
crab
Mom?
population.
What's the
But
needle
so
in your ass,
far,
Mom?
LAL is still required by the FDA for this type of testing.
You look around,
So
all
if
your
these
neighbors are there
animals
too.
really aren't recovering at the rate companies previously thought, we might eventually run out of crabs to bleed. If that happens, our lives and the lives of countless rabbits
Great
might be at
Taiwanese
risk.
band. Their other song earlier in the performance is good too.
Interesting. Let me check it out, dude. Taiwan number 1 or Taiwan number 2? Mid one? He looks like mid one. What? Same guy basically. Good at Tetris, good at Dota, good at making music, singing and playing guitar. What is he not good at? Kinda reminds me of Chester, but Chinese. I think it's the haircut and the glasses. Can I understand Chinese properly? No. I'm fluent in like basic Cantonese.
RE7 DLC
Or
today.
7 deals today? I think I'll skip today. I streamed very early today, that's why. I've already been on for 9 hours. I just free content a little bit, and then I'm off for the day.
Time for education.
done with
SingSing
this.
ha.
Time for education. How to pun like the masters.
Everybody hates puns, right? Drop a pun into your water cooler conversations and you'll instantly become a social piranha. But a pun can be an incredibly useful way to load meaning into your writing. So how can you use a pun without making people roll their eyes?
Sometimes I sleep on the napkins when I get tired.
Is that why they're called napkins?
Not really, no.
Puns were not always bunder appreciated. As John Pollock points out in his book The Pun Also Rises, puns were respected as a form of high rhetoric in ancient Greece. There are also multitudes of puns in the Old Testament when you read it in the original Hebrew. And in the New Testament, Jesus says, "Thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church." The name Peter means rock.
For most of human history, the pun was a sign of intelligence, of wit.
Haha,
insight,
I'm
of
intelligent.
wisdom.
During the Renaissance, which embraced classical ideas, puns were also very popular, and the major writers of the time used as many puns as they could think of.
Puns were just hugely popular. Lawyers punned, judges
Oh
punned
my
in their judgments.
God, we live in
Even
a better
condemned
time now.
Criminals would pun on the gallows.
We live in a way better
to show
time
that,
now.
Hey, I'm not so low. I still have eloquence. I still have wit. I am a worthy human being.
But then the Enlightenment dawned, and while rationalism lit the way into the modern era, it was a dark time for punsters. Enlightenment thinkers believed that everything could be understood through observation and logic. So a branch of them came to regard language, with all of its contradictions and ambiguities, as something that was mossy. Puns, which essentially point out this messiness, started to
There's
fall
a
out
judge
of
in
favor.
Sweden
This is
that
when the
writes out the
phrase "pardon the
sentences
pun"
in
started
puns?
popping up. Even Samuel Johnson, the writer of the first dictionary, called them the lowest form of wit, which is ironic since he is now mostly known
How do I read this newspaper?
for being an internet meme.
What?
But the first thing you should know about writing puns is that they do not have to be funny. Consider the work of the world's greatest punster, William Shakespeare, who uses puns for many reasons other than comedy. For instance, he uses them for characterization by making his cleverest characters pun like their knives depended on it. Hamlet puns repeatedly as a way to rebel against his uncle without being punished.
Hello, my cousin Hamlet. How is it that the
Are you trying to kill me in this video?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
In other words, he is uncomfortable with being called his uncle's son. The language offers him a loophole where he can be both insulting and respectful at the same time, while telling the audience how big his Denmark is. On the other hand, when Shakespeare's
His
foolish
Denmark?
characters pun, they do so unwittingly. Shortly after having his head turned into a donkey's in A Midsummer Night's Dream, Bottom starts making donkey-related puns accidentally.
Thou art changed. Do I see on thee?
What do you see? What, you see an ass head of your own, do you?
Sometimes, Shakespeare even uses puns for tragic purposes. After being stabbed in Romeo and Juliet, the usually jovial Mercutio says,
"'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man."
But what if you do want to make your pun humorous? Well, then I'd build on the work of Arrested Development. This show puns like it's going out of syndication. The
Thank
name of the
God I
show
didn't
is
go
a
into
pun.
the show.
Several characters' names are puns, and one character's only
Ann
character
Young
trait
is the guy's
that he
name?
puns at the worst possible time.
How's my son?
He's going to be all right.
Oh,
thank God.
Finally, some good news
There's
from
no
this
other way
guy.
to take that.
That's a great attitude. I gotta tell you, if I was getting this news, I don't know that I'd take it this well.
But you said he was all right.
Yes, he's lost his left hand, so he's going to be all right.
You son of a...
But one of the most brilliant ways the show uses puns is as foreshadowing. In one plotline, Buster wants to escape the control of his domineering mother, Lucille, but in doing so gets his hand eaten by a loose seal.
Lucille! Watch out for Lucille!
This event is heavily foreshadowed with puns that are only funny in hindsight.
And the hand chair! I had one in my room. I wonder where that went.
It went right there.
Well, I never thought I'd miss a hand so much.
Part of the reason people find puns distasteful is because they feel forced. People overemphasize the pun, which makes them hard to swallow.
It's not exactly healthy, but it's in a stack. So I guess you could say it's a balanced breakfast?
But when you hide puns in a story, then discovering them feels like finding buried pleasure. If, however, you want to use them for humor, the question to remember is, what is the punchline? Is this funny because of the wordplay, or is there another level to the humor? In Arrested Development, the joke is almost always on the characters themselves. We're laughing at how stupid they are, or how petty they are.
He showed me the watch you gave him.
The what? I appreciate your time.
Miscommunications based around puns also form the basis of a ton of conflicts and plot lines in the show. Like when Michael is worried that someone is going to break his brother's legs.
Tell him Rollo.
Thanks, Mr. Magazine, for the 4. How many friends did I lose to solo rank Dota? Not so many, I think.
Say goodbye to his legs.
But finds out that he is referring to the actress who plays the legs in Job's Saw a Woman in Half magic trick. The characters are constantly the victims of ambiguous language. And hey, you know what's always funny? Slapstick comedy. So why not use a pun as the setup?
Michael would have walked away forever, but he was struck by something he remembered from his childhood.
But there is one place you are 100% allowed to pun and are even foolish not to. The title. In probably the most influential book on screenwriting ever, Shave the Cat, Blake Snyder writes that a movie idea should have some form of irony to it. The ironic twister is what stirs up the audience's desire to see the movie, and the title needs to thunder home that element of irony, hopefully in only 1 or 2 words. Puns do all of this. Heck, some of these stories only exist because of the pun. Next year, there's a movie coming out called Monster Trucks about trucks with monsters in them. So in other words, in your writing, embrace the pun. Use them for titles, characterization, foreshadowing, tragedy, and comedy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more video essays on language and story. My name is Sage, and don't forget to leave a comment to let us know what your favorite pun is. Believe me, we truly appreciate it.
It's Princess Adriana exploring Beaver Island.
Beaver Island? What the fuck?
Look what I found, she says. Alright, throw him in the water, cause just put him down.
What the fuck?
Look what I found, she says. Alright, throw him in the water, cause just put him down.
That kid gonna be, he's gonna grow up fearless.
So I heard you like puns.
You heard I like puns, you say. Batman, Mr. Freeze puns.
The Iceman cometh. I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy. In this universe, there's only one absolute. Everything freezes. You are not sending me to the cooler. What killed the dinosaurs?
Arnold.
The Ice Age. Can you feel it coming? The ice.
This is the face of a superhero, by the way. This is the richest man in the world. He can make anything he wants. Anything he wants.
Cold of space. Ah. After you're frozen, your icy tomb will plummet back to Gotham. Breathe well. Stay cool, bird boy. Can you be cold, Batman? You have 11 minutes to thaw the bird.
Breezy. I'm feeling hot.
I find that unlikely.
What do you say we heat things up?
My passion thaws for my bride alone.
Ooh. Talk about your cold shoulder.
Frosty! Unless the city bows to my demands, it's winter forever here in Gotham. I hate when people talk during the movie. All right, everyone.
I can't watch this fucking video actually. Oof. Thank you very much, Mr. Kais Forza, for the tier 3 and 45 years.
45 seconds. Thank you for the streams.
45
Sing.
seconds.
Always a joy to watch.
Dolphin attempts to kidnap other dolphins' calf?
Later that afternoon, something very unexpected happens as visitors from across the bay start arriving. Mothers and calves from at least 3 different families are gathering to meet Samu. Just how the news of the birth traveled so far, and how only the mums with their calves know where to come, is unknown.
I wonder what a dolphin
But
tastes
just
like.
as the Beaches family seem to welcome Puck and Samu, the bay's other mums seem to want to do the same. It's Samu's first chance to meet other baby calves. But young females also are drawn to the gathering. Fascinated by newborns, these wannabe mums often try to lure them away to play. With so many dolphins
Good
all
meal,
milling
Lisa.
together, it's a challenge for Puck to keep track of Samu. He is extremely sensitive to motion. It's how he knows how to follow his mum. Until he's learned her call, there's a risk Samu will chase any fast-moving dolphin that comes close. A mischievous young female deliberately rushes past Samu, knowing the newborn will instinctively follow.
My dolphin now.
To be stealing.
She's trying to take Samu.
Ooh.
Puck is having none of it. It's the only time female dolphins ever show aggression towards each other. Rushing past Samu is the only way Puck can retrieve him.
How come they have names for these dolphins? What is this? It's 5 minutes. I'll watch like a minute and a half of this, dude. Wow, amazing. This guy's a genius at music. I don't really care about this type of music so much, like this genre. I don't know what genre it is. What the fuck? What the fuck? What happens? Is he rapping suddenly? She kind of looks like Jofi from Dola. Watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna find a transition. Like, where does it start? Ah, fuck. I missed it. It's like here, right here, I think. Sounds pretty nice. I don't like the beginning though, it's too slow for my taste. The song of my people. My people. Dun, 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 dun. Time to check YouTube haiku, and then I'm done for the day. Why is there a new video of this like every single day?
I love you, Mr. Bubs. Do you love me too?
Da, da, da.
No. Oh no. I think he loves me.
Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
What the fuck? Thanks, Mr. Neo. Oh god, what is this?
I don't understand. You got police are not going to come to this because it's a fucking joke.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Keep hands behind your back.
He got arrested anyway, what? Drunk people.
It's clearly established a few seconds ago that the tunnel is painted on, so how did the Roadrunner run through it as if it were real? The Roadrunner just ran straight through that thing. Why is the Coyote not able to do the same? Are you guys just making this up as you go along? I know it's supposed to be a joke, but inconsistency isn't clever. It's just bad writing.
That's some rhyme shit right there. That is actually the most rhyme video I've seen.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong. I never sucked any ding dongs, but I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me.
What the fuck? Let's stop the video right there. Toss? I doubt it. Why vegetarian?
I hate chicken the animal, but I love chicken the meat. Why would I want to eat something that I love? I caress chicken. I kiss.
Watch Double King.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
That's a lot of damage. How about a little more? No, that's a lot of damage.
Some of these videos, man. Some of these videos.
Go.
What did I just watch? What?
like a post for the video or something? That was cool. Thanks.
You're welcome, bro.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Ah, shit. Oh my god. You're welcome, bro.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Joe.
Hello.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Roberts.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Roberts.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Robert. Hello, Joe.
Woof.
Your diet. You're on this carnivore diet
Yes,
now.
back
Do you
to
take any
Toronto.
vitamins?
No, I eat tiny infants and salt and water. That's it. And I never cheat, ever. The kids are getting killed. Killed all of them. Rounded them all up. Killed them, raped them, stole them.
What the fuck is this? What? How? Why would they ever edit something like this? Jesus Christ.
There we go.
Someone spent effort making that. And this one.
It was an Alaskan bullworm!
Please watch this. Thanks.
He stole my soap. Who steals soap?
What? Please watch this. What is this? Dance off?
Welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Oh my god. Somebody spent effort making this. My god.
Hey, my name is Sheila, and this is Strength Test, where I test the strength of different things. Today, toothpick.
Toothpick, weak. Yes. Oh my god. Ah, why is Shiba so cool?
Yo, what's up, Flex fans? We're gonna check out the new green screen. It's awesome. I think you're gonna love it.
Dun, 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 dun. Time for daily dose of internet.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This is Peanut the trucker cat. His owner drives a big semi-truck for a living and likes to travel for thousands of miles.
What, that's
This is
it?
what conditions are like for over 100,000 people living in Hong Kong. With so many people living in such a small area, these people pay over $150 a month to live in a cage or metal box. To make things even worse, about 15 people have to share the same bathroom.
My people.
The military in Ukraine decided to show off how advanced their weapons are. Despite being on a boat, the gun is so stable that it can balance a cup of water.
How the fuck is that ever possible? No, seriously, how is that ever possible? This is such a weird
There's
shot,
a train in
actually.
Thailand that goes straight through a marketplace.
Oh, they clap open the entire market, and then they go back
This is
every time the
USS
train comes
Arizona
back.
Memorial, located in Hawaii. When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, this ship and over 1,000 US sailors sunk to the bottom of the harbor. What makes this memorial so interesting is that over 77 years later, you can still see oil from the ship rise to the surface.
Free oil.
Look at just coming again and again right in here. Look at this.
The bark from this tree is used to make cork for wine bottles. The bark grows back on the tree about 9 years later to be harvested again. The average cork tree gets harvested about 12 times in its lifetime.
What? That sounds ridiculous.
Nice.
That's the end of this video. Hopefully I made your day just a little better. And I'll see you guys again very... Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. Many reptile breeders tickle the shell of an egg to see if it's ready to hatch. This method is only used to see if the baby is strong enough to break through the shell.
What?
Do you love me too?
Oh my god, it's like the 6th time I've seen this now.
I think he loves me.
Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
This person bought a giant stuffed bear, jumped inside, and then went to Walmart.
Wait, turn right. Turn right. Come on.
Oh, she can't see from inside? There's no little eye sockets?
That is too cute. I mean, seriously.
This is called the Seakeeper, which is a gyro stabilizer to prevent the boat from rocking back and forth. At the bottom of the boat, multiple stabilizers are placed to shift the weight in the opposite direction of the natural motion.
Of every boater's experience, because stabilizing the roll motion is stabilizing the worst motion of a boat that makes people sick and tired. This will come about, we think, the same way that safety and comfort have been
That shit is
built into
insane.
automobiles.
This is a Eurasian wryneck, and they have an interesting defense mechanism when they're captured. These birds make their body as skinny as possible and move like a snake to try and scare predators.
What the fuck? This should be a Monster Hunter boss. But not this small, of course, should be huge. And you just like, you attack from behind, so his neck just bends over, like, what you doing there?
And it's a simple shaped tube that can move liquid without using any sort of effort. Many people actually used to make tubes like this to steal gas from gas stations.
Let's see what happens. Watch it
Oh,
closely.
this again?
We lower it in. Water level
Yo,
comes up to that first
he's
spin,
watching the free content I watch.
Down, around and out. And it only just made it. In fact, it wouldn't have if that hill were too tall or the water level weren't right up to the edge there.
This is a giant dragline excavator built by the Soviet Union. This incredibly massive machine
He's
doesn't have any
stealing the
wheels,
content I
but
already
it moves
stole.
by walking on its feet.
This, what the fuck? It's a metal gear.
During the
to surpass
Vietnam
all the
War,
metal
this is
gears.
how the Viet Cong
It's
would
literally
hide
the
from
content
US
I've stolen
soldiers.
already.
Not only was it difficult
Yeah,
to find the
Captain Beast, I
enemy,
heard
but the
it.
Viet Cong also set up numerous booby traps.
Oh my god.
That's the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed.
Oh my
and I'll see you
god,
again very,
what?
Very soon. Later. Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This is called the Arch Lifter, and it's a medical device used to fix your neck. The device locks your head in place, while gravity is used to straighten out your neck.
The Arch Lifter is a new and unique cervical traction device that relieves the tension and pain that build up after a hard day's work. The Arch Lifter is designed to apply traction forces precisely to give you the neck and back pain relief you need in under a minute per day. The Arch Lifter uses balanced traction forces by applying those forces to the front and the back of the head.
Is that a person in a wingsuit? Yeah, this is a no for me, dog. If you like hit a bird, if a gust of wind comes from somewhere else, if you make any mistake with any part of your body, aren't you just dead? Who's taking the video? Yeah, another guy, I guess, also in a wingsuit.
This is called a Japanese wood plane, and it's a tool that shaves off extremely thin pieces of wood. To give you an idea of just how thin these sheets of wood are, your typical piece of paper is about 100 microns thick. These wood shavings are sometimes less than 16 microns thick.
Elephants are so cool.
These are some of the quickest gunslingers in the world.
What? No one's looking at this shot while the gun was still in the holster.
No time on 3.
What? You see that?
No time on.
What? Holy shit! They were fast.
No time on 3. A 295 on 4.
That is a new world record.
I know. Accepted. $295.
Oh, that is so cool.
This is what a $367,000 signing machine looks like. It
A
has
what
the
machine?
ability to
A
perfectly
signing
replicate anyone's signature.
Oh. Replicate any signature, you say? Huh.
Now that we have the sign plotted, we're going to go ahead and remove away the material we do not need. After we finish weeding, we're going to go ahead and tape over the letters. It's a diamond grade. Basically, at night, this is what, when your headlights hit, shoots it back in your face.